Hello students, we have completed with the chapter of cell injury and cellular adaptation. So today we are going to start with the next chapter, that is inflammation and healing. So this chapter consists of two parts, one is inflammation and another is healing. So as per your syllabus, so these are the content for the chapter of inflammation. First, that is inflammation. We are trying to know about the definition, causes and signs, and also the types of the inflammation. Then we are trying to elaborate about acute inflammation. In that, vascular events and cellular events. We are trying to know about chemical mediators of inflammation, where we are dealing with a list of chemical mediators, its sources, and the functions of chemical mediators. Next, we are trying to know about inflammatory cells, where we are elaborating about functions and also the factors determining variation in the inflammatory responses. Next, we are going to deal with morphological types of acute inflammation with examples, outcome of acute inflammation. Then we are trying to know more about systemic effects of acute inflammation, where we are going to deal with one chapter, that is pyrexia, its definition and pathogenesis. Then we are elaborating about the second major part you can say, about chronic inflammation, where we are going to elaborate about definition of chronic inflammation, causes, general features and types of chronic inflammation. Then we are trying to know about giant cells, where we are trying to know about types of giant cells with their examples. Then lastly, in the chapter of inflammation, we are trying to know about granuloma, its definition, pathogenesis, and description. So these are related with the chapter of inflammation, first part of our chapter. The second part which we are going to deal is healing. The content as per your curriculum is concerned are regeneration, where we are knowing about cell cycle and different types of cells. Then we are trying to know the definition of healing and repair. Then we are going to talk about healing of fractures, nerve tissue, muscles, mucosal surface, and solid epithelial organs. Then we are going to know about repair, its process involved in repair. Then we are going to elaborate about wound healing, where we are talking about healing by first intention and second intention. Then we are elaborating about difference between primary and secondary union of wounds. Then we are talking about factors influencing wound healing. At the last of the healing contents, at the last of the healing chapter, we are trying to know about complications of wound healing. So these are the contents which we are going to deal in the chapter of inflammation and healing. So today we are going to start with the first part, that is the inflammation part. So as per the definition of inflammation goes, it is defined as the local response of living mammalian tissue to injury due to any agent. So whenever the injury occurs to a living mammalian tissue, it gives a sequence of responses, right? So these responses are nothing but known as inflammation. So the inflammation, it is a body defense reaction in order to eliminate or limit the spread of injurious agents, followed by removal of the necrosed cells and tissue. So this particular inflammation deals with two things. One is a defense reaction and second is elimination of injurious agents present in our body. So it also defends our body with the foreign materials or injurious agent, and secondly it also eliminate the injurious agent from our body, right? Fine. Moving further, a typical inflammatory reactions develops through a series of steps. So as I said, it has a series of steps in a inflammatory reactions. So firstly, it the offending agents, that is the injurious agent which is located in extravascular tissue, is recognized by host cells and molecules. So whatever the injurious agent enters in our body, so which is located in extravascular tissue, it means outside the vessels, right? So these are recognized by the host cells and molecules. So these particular cells are going to identify it by our host cells, right? Then next part, it going to the first defense mechanism of our body, that is leukocytes. So there the leukocytes and plasma proteins are recruited from the circulation to the sites where the offending agent is located. So as we know that we have a first defense mechanism and second defense mechanism. So whenever our body identified a harmful agent is entered in our body, so our first defense mechanism is intensified, right? So those are our WBCs, right? So these WBCs are going to target the our target the injurious agent which is entered in our body. So they will get activated and they will move towards the that particular site, right? So these leukocyte and the proteins which is activated, so work together and try to destroy and eliminate the offending substances, right? So the moment our obnoxious agent enters in our body, first thing happens is it get the our defense mechanism get activated, and these leukocytes will reach to that particular point where there is a entry of the foreign body is there. There they start with some of the processes, a series of processes to destroy that particular agent which is entering in our body and try to eliminate from our body, right? So this reaction is controlled and terminated, and this particular mechanism has a sequence of inside mechanism where they try to kill and getting terminated. And then once this particular war between the obnoxious agent and the our defense mechanism going on, we face so many types of reactions in our body, and there is a tissue destruction which is occurring at that particular point, right? So that particular area where these particular changes we are going to see, right? There are damages takes place at the tissue level, so these tissue level damages also getting repaired by this particular process. So that's why this chapter is dealing with inflammation and as well as the healing part, right? So there is a start of defense mechanism, the end is with the repair of that particular tissue, right? So this is how exactly our body reacts that particular obnoxious agent. So you can see there is a stimulation, so there is a stimulation of our defense mechanism whenever there is a entry of any obnoxious agent or any of the microbes takes place or any of the external agents enters in our body. So there is a stimulation takes place, right, where our defense mechanism get stimulated and it start reaching towards that particular site where there is an entry. So you can say it is just acting like army, right, which trying to fight against the person who is trying to break our defense, right? So they are trying to break our defense and enter in our body and try to uh, cause more and more diseases. So first thing is the stimulation occurs. Second thing, there is a reaching of that particular WBCs, or you can say inflammatory cells, to that particular site. And third thing, they are going to fight against that particular agents which is going to enter in our body, they are going to destroy those, right? And they are trying to eliminate also. Okay, and lastly they are going under a process of repair. They are going to repair that particular tissue damage also, right? So this is what, in short, I'm talking about how exactly the process is. Further, how we go with the chapter, we are going to elaborate each and every part. Next, we are talking about the causes of inflammation, right? Let me tell you, this is a broad chapter. Again, we are going to have subdivisions and divisions and divisions. So it is a broad causes of inflammation. First is the infective agents. When we talk about infective agents, those are bacteria, viruses, or their toxins, fungi, and parasites. So these are the first cause of inflammation. So whenever a bacteria or virus or fungi or parasite or their toxins are released in our body, they behave as a infectious agent to our body. So these, whenever it is released, the defense mechanism comes and the inflammatory process starts. Next cause is immunological agents like cell mediated and antigen antibody reactions. So these also giving a important role, right? So whenever we have some disturbances in our body or some variations in our body, our defense mechanism understood as a external agent and it try to fight with that. Next cause, that are physical agents like heat, cold, radiation, mechanical trauma. So whenever we have excess of heat, excess of cold, less of the cold, less of the heat, right, or any radiations which we are going to expose, or any mechanical trauma our body or our cells or tissue is going to receive, for those also the inflammatory reactions are seen. Next we have is a chemical agents like organic and inorganic poisons. So any alkalides or any of the acids, those are going to behave like a injurious agent to human mammalian tissues. They are going to cause the inflammatory reactions, right? Next we have inert material such as foreign bodies. So any foreign bodies entering in our body behaves like external entity and our defense mechanism going to activate it, and we can see a inflammatory reaction in tissue, right, in our body. Okay, going to the further, we are having signs of inflammation. So these signs are, one is rubor, that we call as a redness, tumor, that is the swelling, then we have calor, that is a heat, and dollar, that is pain, and last one is functionalisia, that is loss of functions. So these are the signs of inflammation. So whenever we have a inflammatory reactions, we are going to find these five signs at that particular site. Okay, so before we have seen that are four signs, the last, that is a functionalisia, that is a loss of functions, is elaborated by a father of modern pathology, that is Virchow. Right? He has elaborated about fifth sign of inflammation. Moving further to the types of the inflammation. So we have divided into two parts, that is two types, that is acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. Acute inflammation is of short duration, which is lasting less than the 2 weeks and represent the early body reactions, resolves quickly and is usually followed by healing. So this, as name suggests, it is acuteness is found in the inflammatory processes where it lasts less than the 2 weeks and it has a faster development and faster recovery. Next we have the chronic inflammation. As name suggests, it is a chronicity is found in that particular thing, which is long duration and occurs either after the causative agent of the acute inflammation persists for a longer time, or a stimulation such as it is induced chronic inflammation from the beginning. So we have, that is, started with the acute stimulation, lasts for a longer period and it it converted into chronic inflammation, or from the beginning itself it is a chronic inflammation. Going to the further, that is, what are the features of acute and chronic inflammations? As per the onset is concerned, acute, fast, that is minutes or hours. Chronic, it takes days together to develop, right? Next, we have cellular inflates, mainly neutrophils, and in case of chronic, we can find monocytes, macrophages, and lymphocytes. Tissue injury and fibrosis, that is usually mild and self-limited, and in case of chronic, may be severe and progressive. Next, we have is a local and systemic sign, that is prominent in case of acute, and we can see very less we can find in chronic inflammation. So this is the introductory part of inflammation and healing. So further in details, we are going to deal in the further coming classes. This is only the introduction part we are going to start today. Right? The further parts we are going to deal in next classes. Okay. To sum up with the chapter, what we have dealt today, that is the general features and causes of inflammation. That is, inflammation is a beneficial host response to a foreign invader and necrosis tissue, but also may be cause tissue damages. The main component of inflammation are vascular reactions and cellular responses. Both are activated by mediators that are derived from plasma proteins and various cells. So further coming classes we are going to, that is the next class, we are going to elaborate about this particular part, that the acute inflammation, the acute inflammation are having two elaboratory points, that is vascular reactions and cellular reaction. Next, that is the steps of inflammatory responses can be remembered as a 5 rupees. That is, first is recognition of injurious agent, second recruitment of leukocyte, third removal of the agent, fourth regulation of the responses, and the fifth one is a resolution, that is a repair. The, the causes of inflammation include infections, tissue necrosis, foreign bodies, trauma, and immune responses. Epithelial cells, tissue macrophages, and dendritic cells, leukocytes, and other cells types express receptors that sense the presence of microbes and necrotic cells. Circulating proteins recognize microbes that have entered the blood. And lastly, the outcome of acute inflammation is either elimination of the noxious stimulus followed by decline of the reaction and repair of the damaged tissue, or persistent injury resulting chronic inflammation. So this is in short the sum up of what we have studied today. Right? So this is, I repeat, this is the introduction of inflammation. So next class we are going to continue with further chapters of inflammation. Thank you.